Is Kristian Fulton done in Tennessee? Well, a new report says that his injury may take him out for a while. So maybe it's time for Fulton to just be done with the Titans. That's what we're going to talk about here on Titans Today. We appreciate you watching. As always, I'm your host, Jay Sanders. And before we get into all of it, I know we've been talking about Kristian Fulton throughout this week with his injury, with some of his off-field issues, with him being benched earlier in the season. Well, I have to ask this. Is Fulton's time in Tennessee up to you if he plays the rest of the season? If he doesn't, whatever it is it time for him to be done? If it is, then I want you to type Y for yes. If you think, nah, he still has promise, I can see what Mike Vrabel saw in him when he had him, labeled in the beginning of the season as a top guy on this defense. Well, if you think that, then type in for no. Y for yes, in for no. Is Fulton's time done here in Tennessee? That leads us off there on the show, and let's kind of start with where this is all coming from. So, yesterday, Teron Davenport, after practice was over, kind of talked about this, saying that Kristian Fulton, Josh Wiley, Joe Jones, Jeffrey Simmons, and of course Ryan Stonehouse won't practice today. Now, Fulton may be out for a while. That's the one that I want to cue in on because this sparked a lot of rumors floating around from a bunch of Titans media sources and honestly just all around Titan Nation that, well, let's just kind of talk to Titan Nation. Basically, a.k.a. Kristian Fulton won't be back in Tennessee next year. That's kind of what the vibe I'm getting from this is as well. Because it's a hamstring injury, which is something that he is not new to. He's dealt with that throughout his entire career, back all the way to 2020, 2021, last year, and even missed a game earlier in this season due to a hamstring injury, and now is out for a while because of it when there really wasn't even a notice. Well, I think there may be a deeper issue. Let's kind of see with the timing here with Kristian Fulton and why I think that this may be the time that he is just done. So he was benched for bad play and quote-unquote other issues, according to Mike Vrabel earlier this season. And he's also been one of the worst-rated PFF cornerbacks in the National Football League, ranking 110th out of 118 quarterbacks. That's kind of hard to do. I mean, that is securely bad, very bad. He's on the fringe of being cut, to be quite honest with you. That's kind of what it's been. He was benched earlier. There was times where I was like, maybe let's just let him free. There's no point to continue paying him. So given that he also is a free agent after this season, I think at this point you just suck it up and keep it. You have 5 games left. No reason to just cut him. Just keep him there. And then at the end of the year, be like, hey, we appreciate you, but go your separate way. There's no reason to have him kind of sticking around here in Tennessee. Now, he is not the only free agent that the Titans will have to worry about this upcoming offseason, as he's just one of, I'm going to say, 5 main guys that we're going to look at. So, obviously, Fulton on top of the list. Then you have Derrick Henry, who, honestly, is probably the main priority. Azeez Al-Shaair, the linebacker, who has, honestly, had a pretty solid year under the radar. No one's really been talking about him. Danico Autry, 9 sacks. This guy has been playing at an elite caliber level. I honestly think he should be a Pro Bowl representative for the Titans. Maybe even over Jeffrey Simmons on the defensive side. I've got to be quite honest, he's played absolutely amazing, even that good, and especially with Simmons out for the next couple weeks, he could really make his presence known. You also have Sean Murphy-Bunting, who's also dealt with injuries this entire year. You could see the Titans trying to bring him back. But if you look at this 5 list here and kind of see the people, there's one thing that is very clear. There's no need to waste money on Kristian Fulton. Like, the guy has had his chance. He's been here for the past 3 years. There's been times where it's been frustrating. There's been times where you can kind of see why there was so much prowess around this guy and hopefully him being a top-level quarterback in the NFL. Instead, he's a bottom-level quarterback, to put it quite literally. Let's go to those PFF rankings. Now, I've shown you this before, but I just want to tell you how literally bad this is. So, obviously, his overall score, 110th of 118. His run defense is 99th, which isn't exactly his job, but still noted there. The funny thing is, coverage and pass rush. He's supposed to be good at coverage. Pass rush at your cornerback, it's not that big a deal. Yet his pass rush PFF grade is substantially better than his coverage PFF grade. Right about 10 points better. And he's 51st in pass rush and then 107th in coverage. It's not good, and there's no reason to be wasting money on a guy with these grades across the board. That's a 50 overall score. Because I'm going to say it, with these PFF grades, you add 10, that's what a grade would be. This dude's making an F. There's no reason to sign him back. You got to focus on the 4 other guys, that being Derrick Henry, that being Azeez Al-Shaair, that being Danico Autry, and even Sean Murphy-Bunting. Those are the 4 guys that I think you got to look at, and you got to get, honestly, I think 3 of these guys. If I had to pick, it'd probably be Derrick Henry, Aziz, and Danico. I do know you need cornerback help, so maybe you'd be a little stingy with Aziz and get Derrick Henry, Danico, and Sean Murphy, but you got to get 3 of these guys back. And I think that opens up the question to all of Titan Nations. Who do you want the Titans to bring back in 24? Like, do you want all 4 of these guys? Is there one guy you're saying, Jakes, you're a little too high on him? Like, maybe it's Sean Murphy Bunting. Maybe you don't want to see him as much as I'm getting off. Maybe you don't want to see Aziz Al-Shaair as much as I'm getting off. I think the 2 clear-cut ones you want back are Derrick Henry, are Danico Autry. But let me know, Titans fans, what do you think? Who do you want the Titans to bring back in 2024? Is it 3 of these guys, 2 of these guys, just Derrick Henry, just Danico Autry? Well, let me know. I'm pretty sure a lot of you put Derrick Henry. That's going to be my first inclination, which is why we're going to talk about him, because there's a lot of rumors swirling about him being a first ballot Hall of Famer. And today specifically, there has been stat upon stat upon stat that has been released that shows exactly why Derrick Henry is not just a first ballot Hall of Famer. He may be one of the top running backs of all time, looking with names like Barry Sanders, LaDainian Tomlinson. I mean, there's some guys that he just fits right into that mix with. And I'm telling you, if you want to go see a future Hall of Fame running back, well, you can do so with using the Game Time app, and you're going to get $20 off your first tickets. It's a super good deal. And Game Time, honestly, is the only place that I go for my sports tickets. But they don't just have sports, guys. They got music. They got comedy. They got theater. Pretty much any event in your area, they're going to have it. Game Time knows that you shouldn't have to worry about buying tickets to your next big event. And guess what? They give you the peace of mind when buying tickets with their best price guarantee. It takes the guesswork out of buying tickets, and they have things like last-minute ticket deals. They've got flash deals, even zone deals where literally you will pick a section, and they will pick a row and a seat, and you're going to save 18% on average. 18%. Listen, they're obsessed with finding ways to help you save you money, and with their very convenient app, it tells you exactly what's going on. You can even see right there, the cheapest ticket. It tells you what to buy, and you can click into it too, and boom, you pop up, you see exactly your seat. You can do a little 360 pan of that, and honestly know exactly what you're buying before you even pay for it. It's super convenient and super nice. And as I mentioned at the top of this, you can get $20 off, guys. Go use it. Titans Chat is that code to go use in the redeem code section. So here's what you do. You download the Game Time app, you create an account, and then you use that code, Titans Chat, and you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code TITANSCHAT. Titans Chat, no spaces, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guarantee. Let's look at Derrick Henry, and I want to start here from 2018 on because, man, he's been a guy in this league who really has never really had a downfall. I don't think there's been a year where I've thought, oh, he's down this year. Like, no, there's never been a year that way. 2018 on, he has 7,468 yards, over 1,500 carries, is averaging 4.9. I don't think you realize how insane it is to average almost 5 yards a carry since 2018. 70 games worth, he's averaging 5 yards a carry almost. 99 of the long, we all know that carry against the Buffalo Bills. We know that. And then 71 touchdowns. Now, I can show you all these numbers all I want, but until you compare him to some of the other great running backs during that time period, it is absolutely mind-boggling what this man has done. 71 touchdowns, 41 for Nick Chubb, 45 for Dalvin Cook. Those guys have been right there with him since 2018. He has almost 2,000 yards more than Nick Chubb, than Dalvin Cook. And he has a lot more carries because he's been healthy, because he hasn't had a lot of injuries. And ultimately, this guy is a workhorse back. This guy is a certified stud, and no one can argue against him. You can say what you want about the Titans' struggles this year. You can say what you want about the Titans team not being really what they expected to be this season. But you can never talk bad about Derrick Henry. This guy has been the best running back in the league, honestly, for the past 3 years, if not more. I can see the talk about CMC. I can see the talk about some new bucks coming in here. Breece Hall coming in, being a good running back the past 2 years. Obviously had the injury hurt him, but listen, you can't deny that if you go past 5 years, there is a clear number one running back. And if you agree with me and you think Derrick Henry is the best running back in the league, then I want you to type his nickname, King, for King Henry. Go spam it in that comment section. We got to let the rest of the league know who runs the running back game, and it's King Henry. Let nobody doubt that. Now, I want to go further into this. If we look at Derrick Henry's stats, and then we pull stats, the best stats from guys like Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook, Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, you added Lamar Jackson there, Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones, whatever. The top 10 running backs in the NFL since 2018. There's Derrick Henry stats on the left. On the right, that's the best stats combined from all the others. So the best stat for carries is 1,292. He has way more than that. The best yardage behind Derrick Henry is 5,117. He has way more than that. He is skyrocketing above the touchdowns. Now the average, okay, 6.1 is exceptional, but guess who owns that 6.1? That'd be Lamar Jackson. Doesn't run as much as the others. And the long being 88, he has a run that is 11 yards longer than that. Henry is a Hall of Fame running back, and it's not even close. His stats amongst the 10 other ones in the NFL are night and day, and he is both of those. He controls this running back league, and people need to start recognize how lucky we are to witness him and see what he has done. I mean, I truly wonder why people don't watch the Titans, specifically for Derrick Henry. He is fun to watch, and he is a Hall of Famer that we are getting to see here before our eyes. And I want to go further because you can compare this guy to people who are in the league now. You can compare this guy to people who are, racing against him now. But let's go back and see these guys. For 100-yard, 2-touchdown games, he has 18. That's tied for fifth with Walter Payton. Walter freaking Payton, yeah. Anybody else on that list ring a bell? That's right, Jim Brown, LaDainian Thompson, Emmitt Smith, Sean Alexander. Those guys are all top-tier Hall of Fame running backs, and Derrick Henry is right there with them. He is 100% a Hall of Famer, and I'm tired of having to talk about this, man, because people keep questioning on Twitter. He is right there with the best running back in the league. When push comes to shove, in a couple of years, maybe 10, 20 from now, you're going to look at the league, and the way you see Derrick Henry is the same exact way you're going to look at Barry Sanders. I mean, that's what I think it'll be compared to in about 10 to 20 years. So, if you agree that Derrick Henry is not only a Hall of Famer, but he is a first ballot Hall of Famer, then type HOF in the comments if you're agreeing with me. Listen, I know I got my Titans fans, got my back. We know how good Derrick Henry is, and I'm tired of these Twitter geeks and everybody going out there saying, oh, I don't know, Derrick Henry's not as good as Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I think he could be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is the definition of it. If you agree, then type HOF in the comments. We appreciate you watching and coming to my TED Talk about how Derrick Henry should absolutely run the running back room in the entire league. But that's all I got for you. That's all I got. So we appreciate you. And Titans fans, you know the drill. Tighten up.